Hey guys, Joshua ST's back after a month with the A99ii, and I gotta say, I am in love with this camera. Wanted to come back on here and kind of give you guys a little bit of review of the pros and cons of what I liked and what I found a little bit frustrating with the camera so far. So be nice and short and sweet, but to the pros, some of the obvious, the over 42 megapixel sensor in this camera is amazing. You have beautifully colored and clear images, and Sony seems to have this very unique deep contrast and deep blacks that I could not get out of my Canon. One of the other big pros that I really enjoy with this camera is the autofocus. It takes the cake out of anything that I've shot with before. It's very fast and the tracking is near real time. I have not been able to miss a single shot with the autofocus tracking. It doesn't seem to lag. It took me a little bit to figure out how to turn all of them on, but once I was able to get the hang of it and be able to utilize track, pick a spot, use the face detection in the system. I even set it up so that it's geared towards my face if I happen to be shooting something from a video perspective or have it up on a tripod. The low light in this camera is absolutely phenomenal. Went out, took some videos at dark at night during sunset as well, and got great shots out of it. One of the other features that I really enjoy is the LCD screen, the ability to move this puppy around. I thought it was just kind of like a neat little feature at the beginning and something that was cool, but it actually came in to be quite practical and useful. I was doing a shoot. Here's one of the shots from it, and this is an unedited, and here's an edited, where I was on top of a shipping container and hanging off the side of this container upside down, 8 feet off the ground, hooking my legs in, and couldn't get in like this, so actually had to use my LCD screen out like that to be able to see the, and line up the shot and get the image. And it worked well. It was very cool. If I did not have that, the shot would not have turned out as well. Not saying that it's a great shot or anything, but I wouldn't have even been able to probably focus on my target. What else? The camera's been a lot of fun. It's very lightweight. The build quality is nice. It is weather sealed. I've taken it out in the rain and even light snow so far. Haven't had any problems. It is definitely nowhere near the build quality that you get out of your Canon or Nikons, but it is protected. I would say that the weather sealing is probably the same as about the 6D. Nowhere near what you'd get out of like a 5D from the Canon world. I've fallen in love with the camera to the point where I actually sold off all of my Canon gear and am now 100% a Sony fanboy, or at least a convert for the time being. Some of the negatives for the camera I found, while the 42 megapixels are amazing, they are huge files. So it actually does kind of choke out. I can't figure out if it's the camera or or my memory card yet, but I am using the SanDisk Extreme Pro 280 megabytes a second, 64 gig card, and when I'm shooting at full speed, 12 frames a second, you get to about 12 or 10 even, and it will choke up. Sometimes to the point where you're shooting, you can't even see or view the image, and to the point where it will take 30 seconds at the most that I experience. Sometimes it's about 5. Maybe I just need a faster memory card, but I'm not, a sports photographer, so I'm not often out there shooting very fast-paced shots. Shot a couple different studio sessions, some on-location modeling shots. I did shooting around with my family and friends, just kind of getting creative, and also shot a safari out in Florida. It was a wild, crazy thing. I recommend the camera. I enjoy all of the buttons that I have on here. I've used them to the fullest. I've configured them, customized them, set this up to change my different focus points and kind of how I want them from like a wide or a single perspective. I've got my camera 2 button here that I actually utilized. Didn't think I ever would, but found it quite helpful. Have a couple different settings within the camera that I'll flip back and forth even when I'm doing video. The 4K video on this is amazing. I've taken some videos on it. I'll post some of those soon so you guys can see it. Still working on my videographer chops, but being able to see the clarity out of this camera was a lot of fun. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them. I know this was brief and a brief overview, but I really like the camera. You know, the lenses, the Zeiss lens, this 50 is super sharp, really clear. I enjoyed that. One thing I will say is the quality lenses for Sony are quite expensive, and there are some few and far between compared to what you can get out of the Canon and Nikon world, but I haven't found that a problem. I've got a 35 wide, I've got the 70 to 200, I've got this 50, and I have a 100 macro. And I'll probably pick up a couple more, but so far I'm able to shoot everything that I need to, and even taking it out to shoot a wedding in a couple weeks, which will be interesting. We'll post some of those. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to post them. I'm out.